You ready?
Oh, okay. All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the Talkaholics podcast. This is Iman.
And this is Razia.
And you were listening to the 17th episode. We're reaching 20, Razia.
Which is nuts.
Well, then.
And actually, this episode, not only is it very close to the 20th, but it's a very special one.
Yes. We have our first guest on this episode, Nawal Salim, filmmaker and actress.
Ooh.
We have a really, really good conversation with her about her story and, how her relationship with the arts and how she keeps coming back to that, and also her struggles being, a hijabi Muslim woman and, finding her space within the industry as well.
We've known her for a while, and I think we wanted her on the podcast kind of more than any other guest that we have thought of or we know can be featured on this, just because, like, her story, it's an opportunity for you guys to hear about what she's about, right? I think if we have this platform to be able to provide stories and to get anybody to know who she is like kind of a privilege for us. So
definitely, it's really important that we have that representation and that we're able to open people's eyes to other people in the industry, because it's really important. And I hope that this podcast is good for other maybe young Muslim girls who are looking to become actresses or filmmakers, and then also people who aren't aware of these people that are trying to come into this space, and how important it is that we represent everybody in the arts.
Yeah, and then on top of her being such a go-getter and being very talented, and she has a career going for her, she's also pretty funny, and
Noel's hilarious.
I love certain parts of this that I was honestly, it was a really great podcast. I hope you guys do please check her out check out our Instagram page. I'm pretty sure we're gonna feature her there. The picture is her tags, anywhere to find her on social media. Again, her name is Nawal Salim. So yeah, guys, I really hope you enjoy this conversation. It kind of goes to places that I really liked, and you get to really hear and enjoy her story. So
yeah, if
you have any questions, please check us out on YouTube, Instagram, SoundCloud,
Gmail. Send us an email. But definitely strap in. It's it's not very long, but it's a bit of a long one, and it's an important one, I think. So make sure you guys are listening and you guys check it out, and we hope you guys enjoy as always. So we'll talk to you guys on the next one. Bye.
From our session, guys.
Welcome to what's your podcast? Shopaholics, Talkaholics. Kick me off the show right now. I don't even know the name of it.
Today we're gonna talk about Forever 21.
Forever 21. Guys, your clothes don't fit me. I'm sad.
Do they ever?
What happened?
They're not meant for curvy girls. Let's be honest.
Thank you.
But I'm pretty sure they just decrease their sizes.
Okay, good. I thought I was the only one.
No, for sure. I'm not getting that big.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I don't think my hips are, exploding either.
It's just, a large is like a small. I don't.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
And you know what's so weird for pants? I'll fit into I don't fit into a 0X, and then I don't fit into an extra large. Extra large won't close, and so you go up, right? 0X, and 0X is, flowing, and I'm okay, so I'm going to wear the same pair of pants for the rest of my life.
Yeah. I find that Blue Notes is really good for
really?
For curvy girl jeans, yeah.
I would have never.
Yeah.
Okay, have you never tried, or is it that not?
I feel like I've tried it, but
wait, I think I have a pair of jeans. Yeah.
I feel like I tried it when I was a teenager, when I was also fat back then too. So it just you never fit, or maybe because back then the style was low-rise jeans.
Mm.
Oh,
and and I have a muffin top, and so I was just I'm gonna suffer forever. Yeah.
No, I can truthfully say that they actually. I think these probably are. A lot of my jeans are Blue Notes, and because I have my hips do come out. What do they call love handles?
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
So they come out a lot.
Yeah.
And I like it.
We all got it.
I like wearing it right at the
Yeah, me too.
I bring it up.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
also,
you feel
I'm a short
it's
person, so I have to
that too.
Or I get palazzos from H&M. Yeah.
Wait, Plazos?
Like the
flowy ones?
Yeah.
Do you feel like it looks flattering? Because I'm too scared to wear it. Because I'm also like really short, and so I feel like I'll look like a box.
It works fine because she's tall.
Yeah.
Right? So,
do you like plazos?
wear heels.
I have to wear heels with them. If I don't wear heels with them, I just look like
like a box,
like a Smurf.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's like
God.
swamping me.
Yeah, no, I hate it. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a struggle.
Alrighty, guys.
Let's start.
Yeah.
That was the intro. That's the okay. I'm going home. Thanks.
No, but we actually wanted Nawal on this podcast for a long time.
Yes.
Stop.
And when
we actually had like multiple conversations.
Yeah. About like, okay, Nawal and Nawal and like after every other session. But funny enough, I think you low-key wanted to be on our podcast too.
Yeah. When you first launched it, I was like, do I ask? Or is like, do you do that? Like, that's so embarrassing. Like, hey, can I like be a guest? But I'm like, am I even important? So I was just like, I'll just wait. They'll come through. Like, I know I actually really wanted to be on it.
Yeah, which is so sweet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm glad we did initiate the conversation that's happening.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. And I think for a lot of the conversations Iman and I have on this podcast about, being Muslim and in the arts, because we're both involved and interested, but like who better to interview? So I think first of all, welcome to the podcast.
Yes.
I hope you're gonna have a fun time here, but really quickly to get into it, I guess, did you want to very quickly just talk about your MFA and all the stuff you're doing recently, or?
Oh my god, sure. Okay, so my MFA, do you want to know what project I'm doing right now, or how I got to do my MFA, like how I got to this point in my life?
We can start.
Let's start from the beginning.
Yeah. Okay.
So, oh my god, I'm so excited. That's 15 minutes of me talking.
So I mean, for the listeners, we've known you for quite some time.
Yeah.
I know Razia went to elementary school with you.
Oh, yeah.
We went to high school, all of us together.
Yeah.
But I guess we can start with your BA and also how you went into Greenlight Productions at York.
Okay.
And then we'll kind of go from there.
Yeah.
Okay, so it all started when I was, I guess, in grade 10. So we're going to actually start before that. So that's when I realized I wanted to be an actress. And so when I got into grade 12, I just thought, like, yeah, I'm going to go into theater school. Like, I had this, like, dream that I was at theater school. I'm like, it's a sign from God. That's what I'm going to do. And my family knew that I liked drama and acting, and I was doing all of that stuff in high school. But when I got again to grade 12 and I'm applying, I was like, so yeah, I'm gonna do acting, and everybody died, of course. They were like, wait, seriously? And I was like, yeah, like, this is what I want to do. And they're like, okay, so if you want to be an actress, you can't be Muslim because you're gonna have to take off your clothes, you're gonna have to touch boys, you're gonna have to do all of these kind of things. Right. And I was like, I don't think that's true, and I don't think anyone's gonna put a gun to my head and force me to do anything I don't want to do. But honestly, like, I'm such a pushover. I'm the youngest in my family, and I actually didn't apply to theater school at all. I applied to English and professional writing, which my sister suggested to me. So I didn't even want to do English either. Like, I wanted to do history and like whatever. So I studied corporate communications. Do you guys know what that is?
Yes.
Yeah, like institutional communications?
Yeah.
Okay, and technical writing. So basically, for those of you who don't know, it's like, basically if you have an IKEA booklet and you open it up and you have to read the instructions, that's like my job in life. It's just, I write those instructions. So it's this awful, boring thing that I started, and I hated it. And then I ended up getting really depressed about it. So in the summer after first year, literally in the middle of the night, I had an epiphany, and I was like, why don't we showcase Muslim plays at York? Okay. So I was like, what's the big deal? I'm going to go to the MSA. They're going to be like, what a great idea, art and Muslims. And they're going to help me out. Yeah. It's so funny because I went to them, and I mean, the viewers aren't going to see this, but do you have like an extra piece of paper lying around?
I can like.
Oh, okay, then it's fine. I can like act it out.
Okay.
Because I'm an actress. Okay, so I had this like. I had this proposal written out, and I was like, okay, so the MSA is going to have a subcommittee, and it's going to be for the arts, and it's going to be for performance art and putting on plays. And right before I met with the VP of the MSA, I kind of actually told myself in my head, I'm like, if it doesn't work out, then just do it on your own. Right. So I go and I meet this girl, and I was like, hi, so this is my proposal. And I hand it to her. So pretend you're handing me a paper. She goes, okay, so we've thought about it. So basically now, like, to describe it. Yeah, so she took the paper and she just put it to the side. And I'm like, she didn't look at my proposal. I typed it out, printed it. What a waste of paper. And she was just basically saying, like, oh, I don't think the MSA wants to do this right now. So I was like,
not shocked. But okay.
Yeah, especially I won't say which institution I went to, but it might come up. But like they tend to be much more strict, anyways. Yeah. So I was like, okay, and then I just kind of decided for myself. I'm like, forget it, I'll do it myself. And it's funny because I went and I spoke to like the theater manager at York, and to put on a play in a theater. I just said which institution I go to. It's York. I can't afford a lawsuit. Okay. But yeah, it costs like $8,000.
Right. Wow.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Like I can't even raise that much money. Like, and like the YFS, so like the student union would max give me $800. Like it's just I couldn't do it. So I thought to myself, okay, we can't put on plays, right? So what can I do? And so I decided, to create Greenlight Productions. It was a Muslim drama club. And so what we did was every 2 weeks we would have open mic nights. And then in these open mic nights, we would, if you wanted to put on a skit, you can do that. If you want to read a short story, a lot of people like to do spoken word. And we just kind of found a classroom and performed and did it like that. And then I put on a screenwriting workshop for 2 years, and then 1 year I had a filmmaking workshop, and then at the end of every year we had a film showcase, which is just us making like cute videos and putting it on our Facebook page, so it wasn't anything legit. So that was Greenlight Productions, and I did that for 3 years, actually all by myself. This is kind of illegal and you're not allowed to do this, but you're supposed to have an executive team and a VP and a president, and I totally faked it for 3 years. So yeah, like I was the president and my best friend was a VP, so she would just sign off on everything, and then for like the exec team I would just write my friends, but they wouldn't help out. Like it was literally me for 3 years, like planning all these events. Yeah, and it was quite hectic. So that was Greenlight, and then I get to Okay, so I get to my 4th year, and I'm still studying English and Professional Writing, Institutional Communications. I hate it. And then I have this club that's doing really well, and I end up getting sick again. How do I explain this? So I end up going through essentially depression over my future, and I'm trying to decide, like, okay, if I graduate and I have this degree, I'm gonna work in a cubicle forever, but I have this really great club and it's doing really well, right? So like, why can't I just go into the arts? Like, how am I gonna figure this out? And my mom saw me kind of go through this, and she one day was just like, you know what, like, if you want to do drama or film or acting, I don't care what you have to do, just be alive and be healthy and be happy, and that's what matters. So I was like, okay, great. And then I decided that once I graduate, I am gonna continue school, and so I applied to theater school, and then I applied to film school. So I end up going to the theater school audition in January, as people do, and I walk in and it's like a sea of white kids, right? And I laughed to myself. I was like,
I remember this whole story because I remember after like Greenlight production sessions or whatever, you would say like, oh, so this and this happened, and then, like, this story that you're gonna tell.
Yeah.
I remember.
So I go to this theater school audition, and I like laugh to myself. I'm like, oh, I'm definitely gonna stand out because I'm brown, but like, I mean, am I really brown? I'm light skinned, but I'm thinking like, yeah, I have a chance against these kids, and then you go through the process and you're like, oh my God, I don't have a chance, because every single kid that was there, first of all, their parent was there. My parent wasn't there. Maybe because I'm 21, I don't know. But even if I wasn't 21, my mom or dad wouldn't be there. So they had their parents there. They had professional headshots. I took my headshot in like an office with a black wall, like really just not professional. And they were really talented. Yeah. And it's like, it's such a cliche and it's so fake, and don't believe people who tell you that like passion prevails all and talent just is something you're born with. It's not true. It's something that's cultivated. It's something that happens through practice and through support. And I just didn't have that. And so I totally failed this theater school audition, and I get into film school, and I think to myself like, oh, what's the big deal, right? How much different is acting in film, right? And it's like the biggest difference ever. Yeah, exactly. It's like once in front of the camera and then all of the entire world outside of the camera. So I get into film school, and now at this point I was like, great, I still want to act. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take acting classes while I'm in film school. And then, so I'm
23 at this point, 22, 23. That's when I actually decided for myself that I wanted to wear a hijab. So I never wore a hijab my entire life. And I decided to wear it because when I got into film school, again, sea of white kids, maybe like 10 brown kids. And for me, I just felt like it was really important for people to identify me as a Muslim woman in that space. Like, I wanted you to be able to look at me and be like, that's a Muslim person sitting at that table doing that work. Just so that it could be maybe inspiring for someone else to kind of do that. Right. But then another world of problems comes up when you wear a hijab. So I'm taking acting classes. Like, the first couple of acting classes I took without my hijab, and then I started wearing it. Yeah, so I go to an acting class, and I have the same teacher 3 times. It's this white lady. And twice in 2 different classes, she asked me if I could take off my hijab to play a role.
No.
Yeah.
You know, we were just talking about this. We were like, when Nawal comes, we're going to have a conversation about how when you go into acting, if people expect you to do something when you wear hijab, are they going to expect you to kind of like step away from your faith to perform certain roles?
Yeah, like the demands.
Yeah.
While not trying to sacrifice your faith in the process.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. So we can get into that. But in this situation, it was so like not necessary too. Like
it's just like nonchalant about it, just outright was like,
yeah, like yeah. So
can you maybe?
Yeah. Like okay, the first time was like we're doing these like practice things in class. It's not even a performance. It's just like workshopping a scene. And the scene was like after I'm getting my hair colored and my hair is drying. So essentially I should have a towel on my head. Right. But like she was like, do you think you can take it off? And I was like, no. First of all, it's not even a performance. So like what am I doing? Like I don't even need to like first of all, it was also a period piece. Like do you want me to come in a corset? Like what do you like why do you need me to do it? And then the second time around, this is the part that was the most frustrating, but the second time around, she's telling me about this character. So let me tell you this character, okay? It's this girl who basically she has premarital sex. She gets pregnant and her family forces her to marry the guy that impregnates her, okay? And so as a result, she starts to act out. She goes to a bar. She meets a guy, blah, blah, blah. And so the first scene is she's just sitting at a bar, literally on the opposite end of a bar, and she's talking to a guy. That's it, right? And so this instructor is explaining, she's like, you know, I understand anyone can play anything and that's like the thing right now.
Oh, God.
But like, I just, yeah, right? And she was like, I just feel like this character wouldn't be religious, you know, because of all of the things that she's been through. And I don't know, I was just wondering if you could, you know, take it off. Like, what do you want to do? Yeah.
Wow.
So 2 things. At first I was like, okay, if the hijab is such a problem, like I can wear a hoodie. Yeah. There's that. Yeah. Second of all, let me tell you, this story, okay, is the most ethnic thing that I've ever heard in my life. Like, that is
so true.
You know?
I was waiting for it. I was like,
yeah.
Did she write Brown Girl at the beginning?
No, it's like
a Bollywood movie.
Right? Exactly. Which communities are going to hide a premarital baby? A religious community or an ethnic community?
No, I was going to say more.
Right?
Who's going to force the marriage to happen?
That too. It just sounds so ethnic. And she was just like, I don't see her being religious. It's not about religiosity or praying and getting through that. It's like, which community would go through this? Like, what? This is apparently reserved for white people? I didn't know. And I was just like, and then I remember telling this story to so many people, and that would be like, that sounds so much more interesting to see a Muslim person go through a very difficult, complex situation like that. And I was like, yeah, exactly. So those 2 situations happened in acting school. And then I'm in film school. And for me, like, it's a priority when I'm making my films to have Muslims in it, right? Because I'm like, I'm Muslim, so I want to see that representation as an actress. But, like, the white kids didn't understand that. So when they made films about diversity, it was all like, let's hold hands with the white person and a black person and a brown person. And, like, it was just really offensive because, like, you think that you're being all cutesy and elementary, but it's like, that's offensive. Like, I don't want to hold hands with a white person, straight up. Sorry, I don't want to do it. So I'm like, this is so, like... Ugh. So I just got really frustrated with acting school, and I got really frustrated with film school, and so I wanted to quit, right? I was like, I never want to be an artist again, but I wanted to quit with dignity. So I decided to switch from a BFA to an MFA because I was like, I could have gotten a certificate, but I was like, no, like, let me just bang it out in 2 years. I'll get a master's. I can make my mom proud. I'll go into documentary media. I'll make a film about, like, Do you know what whirling dervishes are? Like those spinning Sufi dancers?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, I'll make a documentary about them, and then I'll graduate, never become an artist, work in a cubicle, have 19 kids, and I'm done, right? Like, that was like, I'm like so frustrated at this point.
Dream. Okay.
That's my dream, is 19 kids after film school. Okay, so then I get into documentary film, and then, you know, I'm obviously reflecting on my life and all of the things that got me to this point, all of the barriers, and I just think to myself, like, okay, you know what? I think it's important to talk about my story, and there's something to reflect on the fact that I'm having such a hard time trying to become an actress when my white counterpart won't be able to have that kind of difficulty. So for my thesis, if you're doing an MFA, you have to create a piece of art, and so you can make film, photo, or installation. I obviously made a film, and so I'm making a documentary film now about me kind of documenting my journey to try to become an actress. And there's many ways that I'm doing it, but one of the ways is that I'm comparing my journey to a white girl and then a Muslim girl who doesn't wear a hijab.
In the entire documentary itself?
Yeah.
Okay,
and like, you would think, without giving it away, like, you know, I think it really I think it's just interesting to see what the outcome is. I mean, I know what it is. But yeah, like, I got an agent. Yeah. And I wouldn't have gotten it if I didn't do this thing, right? I was like, oh, let me what the hey? And it's so
what the hey?
It's so funny that I wanted to quit. Like, this came from me wanting to quit, and now I'm like finally doing what I love, and it's like so insane.
Which is so awesome when you like send over the message initially about like not only your thesis, first of all.
But the fact that you were able to get an agent. Yeah. And that's like really big news. First of all, this is like official exclusive news.
I know. I haven't told anyone. Yeah.
Which is really exciting for you.
Literally.
Yeah.
But like just even like going back to the intent of your thesis, like I found it so important that I think it's hard to find people in film who are in positions of making film and whatever, that they would give the chance to a Muslim woman and feature them as being the topic of that film. So the fact that you are doing an MFA right now, you gave yourself the opportunity to be showcased in a documentary, which I think is probably the smartest approach. Right? I'm just waiting.
Waiting for someone to give you the chance. You're like, nah, I'm gonna do it.
Exactly. I got a camera. I can do it. Right. Yeah. So, and I didn't know that part of like you're comparing it to other people. And going down the road and stuff. So that's amazing. But so how's like the whole agent thing working out right now? Is it like?
Oh my God. Okay.
What's that experience like?
So where do I start with that? So the reason why I actually just didn't reveal it yet is because like I want to get a role before I can tell people. Like, it would be really embarrassing that I'm like, hey guys, got an agent. They're like, where's Nawal? I don't see her in a commercial. Like, I don't see her in a TV show. So that's been a little difficult. I'm currently going through this like existential crisis though, because I did get an agent, and he was very well aware that like, okay, maybe you don't have as much experience as like the white people on my roster, but like, okay, so for example, I went to an acting class, and it was a 1-day workshop, and it was about, you know, going to an audition and like what that experience was like. And honestly, guys, I paid $200 just for the instructor to tell me like, what I see here is a person who's really nervous and really inexperienced. And I was like, I gave you my resume before I did this. Like, why did I pay $200 for you to tell me I'm inexperienced? Like, it's so, first of all, that was really embarrassing because she kind of said it in front of everyone. But then I get really like afraid, right? Like, people want to give you opportunities, because especially now people are saying it. They're like, we'd rather pick like a person of color over a white person now. But it's like also like,
but I think that's like the purpose of a workshop like that should essentially be encouraging to be like, let me give you practical ways that you can approach an audition.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but instead of going, let me just tell you something like that.
that like I already know, and it's funny. I
feel your insecurities a second. Like,
exactly.
It's not gonna,
And I went home and I literally cried myself to sleep because I thought, oh my God, like, what if I'm a fraud? Like what if I did this entire thing? I started Greenlight, I made this film, I got an agent, and I've just tricked everyone. Like, what if I'm not talented, right? And like, people are like, we want to give you opportunities, and my biggest fear is like, I get it, and people are like, oh, like, we wanted all this for diversity and she can't even act. And it's like, that's what I'm feeling like these days of like, oh my God, like, I have to impress my agent, I have to impress now the world. And it's just like, again, going back to like the structural issues, like, I don't have as much talent as like some kid who went to theater school.
But here's the thing. So just to segue very quickly, though I think something that should consistently be something that you, whenever you have set like those senses of self-doubt, look at the freaking scholarship that you just got from MAX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I understand is like coming from a Muslim organization. So Muslims, sorry, was it Muslim?
Yeah, awards for excellence.
I think
Muslims
so.
Award
So
for
MAX,
Excellence.
for short. And recently, actually, Nawal, I think about a month back or a few weeks back,
I think so, yeah, about a
got
month
a
ago.
scholarship for film and TV.
Yes.
The Salma Jeelani Wani Scholarship for Film and TV.
Yeah.
And which is amazing.
Thank you.
And I saw that the little live stream thing of
Oh, yeah.
you being featured on stage and everything. And so there's that, and then that's definitely encouraging, and I'm glad that there's organizations out there. But if there's anything to remind you of how important it is to have someone like you in that space, in film and TV, in dramatic arts,
Yeah.
because I would say it's like a dry desert right now.
There's
Yeah.
literally no one.
Right? And if anybody's going into film, I find it's going to the producer, like
Mhm.
more executive level
Mhm.
stuff.
Actually, that's true, yeah.
But I would say, like, but the route you're taking in making yourself the kind of lead person, the lead roles, like,
Yeah.
I know you wouldn't take on, like, the token Muslim person
Okay,
in a
yeah.
sitcom or anything. Like, you would want, you would want to be, you know, there's no reason why you couldn't lead a film that way. I don't think, like, I think that should be, like, your point of encouragement there, right?
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
it's, like, forget that the industry is looking for colored people at this point.
Yeah.
It's our communities are
Yeah.
recognizing
Yeah,
that
exactly.
media representation is important, is of value, and we'll find people like you and say, go for it. Like, right?
Yeah.
So, and I think, like, especially, like, recently, just seeing the scholarship, hearing about your thesis, and, like, I saw that you were featured on Sisters Project, too, which was, like, a brief clip on CBC that happened also recently, for anyone
Yeah.
interested. But I think the movement has been slow so far, but it's moving, is the
Mhm.
point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's phenomenal and very exciting to see, to be honest. But I think one thing that we wanted to ask very quickly, question, just to get into a few pop culture items, because I know that, I mean, you're in film and TV.
Yeah.
And we talk about music a lot from before.
Oh, yes.
And with, like, Greenlight Productions and stuff.
Yeah.
Is there, like, I don't think I've ever asked you this, but, like, what is, like, your favorite movie, period? Like,
Oh, my favorite. Oh, no. Oh, my God. I say that because I watch so many films. It's funny, right? Because I'm such an artist. Like, if you were to ask me what my hobby is, it's watching films. Like, ew, I hate myself. Like, do I, like...
you're in the right field.
Yeah, exactly. I know, but it's like, it should be like skipping. I don't know, running.
Skipping.
You know, or like petting dogs. I don't know, like...
Put that on your resume.
Skipping.
Skipping.
You can actually do that.
Girl, don't you know I can do it?
Yo, that's hard. My favorite movie. Oh my God, do I have? I have,
Okay, I'll
like,
give you top 3.
top 3? Oh my God.
I think that made it harder.
Yeah. I can give you like genres that I really like.
Sure.
So I love horror a lot. What do I like? Oh, I don't want to say international films
Why not?
Why not?
because it's not technically a genre.
Well,
It's a white
what?
person way of
Yeah,
saying
okay,
like,
there's that,
you
but-
know, maybe okay. What can I? Okay, I'm freaking out.
I know that you watched that one horror film. I don't remember the name of it exactly, Noel, but I think it's an Irani film with the woman. Like, it's a woman who wears she's Muslim and she wears like kind of a cloak. It's not a abaya altogether.
Yeah.
But she's kind of she haunts the streets of like the small neighborhood. I remember because it's like specifically black and red the entire film.
Oh, I know. A girl who walks home alone at night.
I think it's that.
Yeah,
one.
it's a vampire film that's like based in Iran, which
Wow.
yeah, which is really interesting. Can I just say, like, on an aside? Okay, so I have this thing. Okay, when I was like pitching my film to like my thesis, I keep talking about how there's a lack of representations of Muslims in North America, and I have this one professor who's so adamant about telling me to watch world cinema. Right? She's just like, but what about Irani films? They have hijabis there and there's not a problem. And I'm like, first of all, Iran is not a secular country, one. But second of all, this is the artistic equivalent of you saying, if you don't like North American films, go back to your country and watch
Yeah,
those kind of
exactly.
films. And it makes me so angry. So there's no disrespect to Irani films. I love them. They're great. But I'm in North America and I want to make an impact here. And there's no, like... it makes you like, you don't see enough Indians. Why don't you just watch Bollywood? Like, that's like that's what I feel when I hear Muslims say, like, not Muslims, when I hear other people say, like, you don't see representation. What about that one Irani film? Like, okay, thanks, but also I'm not Irani either. So like, where's the relatability? But yeah, that's what I hate. It's annoying. I could give recommendations of like films. Like what do I like on Netflix right now? For example, is it still there? So for Indian cinema, I really liked Masan. If you guys heard of it, it's basically I don't want to give it away.
I don't think
Do you?
I love Bollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Okay, good.
But I
didn't know that.
I love Bollywood.
Okay,
movies,
and
yeah.
also because that's not Bollywood, it's more contemporary.
Yeah.
That's why. There's Bombay Talkies, which is more of like an anthology kind of film where 4 filmmakers come together. Sacred Games is really good as well. Bollywood films. I like so many. Man Marzian just came out in it just came out, yeah, and it was in TIFFs, and that's kind of Bollywood-ish too, so you would have to look for that. Yeah. Aside from Bollywood, I just saw The Haunting of Hill House.
Oh, okay.
That was
I'm not
really
a horror
good.
fan, but
Yeah. You say you're not a fan?
I'm not a horror fan.
Oh, okay, that's why. Okay, yeah, I watched the first episode, and I was like, and then I got through it, and I was like, ooh, okay. And then I love American Horror Story as well. I like all of them.
Have you seen any good films that came out of the theater recently?
Oh my god, it's so funny because somebody else also asked me this too. The last time I saw anything in the theater was actually at TIFF, so technically it's not like the theater, right?
Yeah.
What did you watch there?
Oh, okay. So I watched Mantu. It's an Indian film. It's contemporary. It's about like it's about this poet who like lived in India, then had to go to Pakistan because of everything that they were dealing with after the partition and the British rule, blah, blah. So great. I watched this film called Angelou. Oh, it's so creepy, and I'm really like confused about what I saw. And it was very art house. But it was about a slave in Vienna who lived in like an aristocrat's house and like the things that he went through there. I saw The Wedding Guest with Dave Patel and Radhika Apte, and
Interesting.
very interesting. The film was awful. Nobody see it. But second, I saw Radhika Apte, and she was like literally sitting outside the theater, and I like went up to her, and I was like, hi, because I love her, right? So I was like, hi, I'm such a huge fan. And it's really interesting because like she was sitting like away from me, and like I was like, hi, and she literally was like, hi. Like she didn't even turn around, she didn't get up, she didn't shake my hand, and I was like,
oh, that's so disappointing.
I love you, because I was like, you're so talented, and but like she was just like looking at me like, okay, and then I was like, I'm gonna go see your film, and then she cracked like a small smile. She's like, okay, enjoy, and I was like, and then the film turned out to be awful.
Okay.
So you're like,
So my life is over basically. That's why you shouldn't have like I don't know. The Wedding Guest, and then Man Marzia, or Husband Material by Anurag Kashyap, who's a really great director, and that's basically, it was very young and contemporary, but about, you know when you like that guy and he's bad for you, and you guys keep promising you're gonna get married, and then like you just never do, and then she gets an arranged marriage and blah blah. But then like the arranged marriage, she's just like, wow, this is actually good, but then it's not. I don't know, but it was great. Yeah. So that's what I saw. Yeah.
And no TV shows? Netflix is not feeding you any of that good stuff either?
Oh my god, no, except for The Haunting of Hill House that I saw recently. You know what? I saw, like, for example, like Dear White People. I like the first season better than the second. I saw 13 Reasons Why. Yeah, I like the first season better than the second.
I didn't watch the second season of 13 Reasons Why because I felt so problematic about the first season.
I know, right? Yeah, the second one was kind of boring. I was like, eh.
Yeah.
I really hope they don't have a third. Yeah. Oh, Wild Wild Country. It's a documentary TV show. If you saw it, it would blow your mind. It's basically about like, honestly, this like Indian guru who like tricks a bunch of white people. It's really great. And they call him like Bhagwan, and I'm like, wow, you guys are so dumb. But it's really intense. So yeah.
Nice, good stuff. But quickly, because you mentioned you like American Horror Story. Do you ever watch American Crime Story?
I haven't. But I know like the second season with the poop emoji. Is that like no?
What?
Never mind. Is that American Vandals or
I
something?
think that might be something.
Okay, never mind. I haven't seen it. Okay, Netflix has so many things.
You should definitely watch it.
Yeah?
There's two that came out. The one about the OJ case, and the other one's about,
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
the Versace assassination.
Yeah.
Okay,
Some of his
FX, yes,
great
yes.
work. I forgot the director's name. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
guy
it's
who
the
did
same
Glee
guy.
Also, yeah.
Yeah.
But his crime story stuff, because I think I told you.
Yeah, you told me about it. I still haven't watched it. I know.
I should.
It's
Oh my
bad.
god. Okay, so there's that. But I think very quickly before we wrap up, I do think Iman has a.
Yes.
I know, sorry, I was ranting.
Oh no, this
Okay.
is good. We love
Yeah.
this. No, but you know what? Because because we're all into the arts and we're all into pop culture and everything. So I want to do like a little quick fun quiz that
Oh my god, I'm scared. Okay.
we could do. So obviously I'm like not part of the quiz because I know the answers, but
Okay.
I'm just gonna go. It's just an online quiz and there's a lot of questions, so I'm just gonna go through ones that I think aren't too easy.
Okay.
And then
too
you guys
easy.
can fight for the answer.
Oh, hey,
Okay.
okay. I didn't know I was gonna burst her.
Okay, let's see. Let's start off with something easy. Okay, so first question. This group sings "Cake by the Ocean."
Oh, it's the
DNC.
yeah.
You are
Joe
correct,
Jonas.
Razia. Okay. This movie was top at the box office in 2015.
What's 2015 was 3 years ago. Oh my god.
Yeah, my memory's not that good. Is there options there?
No.
It's well, it's not Black Panther. It's not Crazy.
Black Panther was not that long
I know it's
ago.
literally this year. What the heck? Avengers?
No. It's Star Wars episode.
Oh.
I don't read Roman numerals, so I don't know. The Force Awakens.
Okay,
That's the
Star
one.
Wars.
Yeah.
Okay, so Chris Pratt starred in this movie,
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic World.
Jurassic
Close
World.
enough.
Whatever. I'll give it to her.
Okay, this remake of a 1984 movie stars a female cast,
Oh,
including...
Ghostbusters.
Okay, you were right.
Yeah.
That's correct.
But you know, right? Yeah.
I was like,
Too easy.
He sings the hit song, What Do You Mean?
Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The Biebs.
Beebs. He sings the new release, Can't Stop the Feeling. Well, it's not new anymore.
Is it Pharrell?
No.
Justin Timberlake.
Yes.
JT.
Pharrell doesn't sing, does he?
Pharrell sings. Yeah, he
Does
sings.
he? Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Not that song though.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay. I'm trying to look for okay. These are not new.
One of the questions.
Okay, he won. I don't know if you guys will get this, but okay. He won the NBA MVP for the past 2 years.
It's gonna name any.
It's Steph Curry.
You're right.
Yeah. It's the only one that exists. You know?
Okay,
LeBron.
LeBron James. No.
Kobe.
That's so sad, guys.
You named three.
That's it. Tristan Thompson. I don't know. He's not winning anything. Yeah.
There's nobody that's happening.
Okay, he created Carpool Karaoke.
Oh, what's his face?
James Corden.
There you go.
Yes.
This is bad. I literally watched him yesterday.
Okay. So this TV series featuring the Tanner family, which was originally created in the 1980s, made its way back to TV this
Fuller
past year
House?
with a new name.
Fuller House?
You're
Okay.
correct.
I was like, first of all, long question.
Yeah.
For like, right away they gave you the answer.
I don't know.
I was like, Modern Family? Tanner, yeah.
This pop star, I don't know if this is recently, but this pop star split with Calvin Harris.
Oh, Ellie Goulding? No?
Isn't Taylor Swift with them?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that is so old.
They said recent. This is not recent,
Yeah.
my friends.
Probably from 20.
This is the name. I don't think, who knows this? This is the name of the Obama's dog.
Oh, wow. I actually
Charlie. Like, I don't know.
It's Bo.
Okay.
I don't know. This Just Like Fire singer's real name is Alicia Beth Moore.
Just like fire.
Do you want me to sing it for you? Do you guys
Is
remember
it
how
pop-
it goes?
Okay, your mom, show us.
Well, I can't really sing, so
Go for it. Go for it.
I don't like how you moved it closer to me.
It's completely
It's just
intimidating.
the one that goes, just like fire. Na, 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 na,
I know the song.
I don't know the song.
No, I can anyway.
I don't know.
Oh, now I know who. Okay, but I don't know who. But I know the song.
Guys!
Who?
It's Pink.
Yes.
It's Pink.
Oh my
Sorry.
God.
I don't know how her name was. Alicia Beth Moore.
That's what she
Alicia.
chose. That's what she chose. Pink.
I know.
That's
She's just
over.
like.
Oh.
Did you watch The Greatest Showman? Sorry.
I haven't. That's not Robert Pattinson, is it? No, I'm
No,
thinking about this.
Robert Pattinson
No,
hasn't been. Where?
What? I know this.
It's Well,
It's
you
not
wouldn't
Edward.
think he would be in a musical like this.
Except he did start his career in Broadway.
Oh yeah, that's true.
He did.
But then he went through all that stuff, like the actiony stuff, and then
Yeah.
I know who it is, but I don't.
Can I give you a hint?
Yeah.
Wolverine.
Oh, there, Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
There you go.
I haven't seen it. Is it good?
It's really, really good.
I want to see it.
The Greatest Showman. Okay, it's good because like the music's great. I think like I'm very
I love the song. I mean,
the second I hear a one, because usually there's like 6 songs.
Yeah.
And like if the third song isn't good and there's no good choreography, I'm like I zone out completely. I'm like
I'm checking out.
It's painful, but all the songs are really, really good.
I love the music in that.
Oh,
in that show,
and
in that movie.
but the thing is that if you do a little history, because the movie's actually about a real person, about someone who kind of started the whole circus freak show like aesthetic, or like even the entertainment form itself. He was the starter, but it's problematic because they don't really address directly what actually happened in the era, because he created that circus framework during when like black people were still seen as like, you know, freaks themselves.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
So he in real life treated people horribly. Like,
holy crap.
So freak shows are like based on like taking people who are weird looking and are actually disabled or like kind of challenged in some way, and just kind of exploiting it because people love seeing that crap, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, even though he kind of, you could say he empowered those people, there's so many stories of like him just literally treating these people like I don't even want to go into it because it's really way too dark for this podcast.
Yeah.
But just reading on the Wikipedia, I went, oh my god, this is such a happy musical, and
I know.
this guy's actually the worst.
Sounds like a white people thing
Yeah.
to do. It's like, we're just gonna hide the racism, slavery, abuse.
And because like even in the movie, if you remember like the Zac Efron and, this is not a spoiler, the Zac Efron and Zendaya relationship, like in the movie.
Well, I didn't watch it, but I knew they were together.
Yeah, like they're a couple in the movie, and in the focus, one of the themes is on like, they kind of acknowledge that at that time it's weird for those two people to be together, and like they kind of show how awkward it is for like the Zac Efron character to kind of bring his shield down in public and just be okay with her and like whatever. But like they make it sound so progressive because like you know, you can imagine where that storyline goes. But really, like
it wouldn't have worked. Yeah. It reminds me of American Horror Story.
Yeah. Because
they have like freak show is one of their
shows,
It's my favorite. Is it my favorite? It's my second favorite actually.
Yeah. Which one's the first?
Asylum.
Oh, okay.
Sounds creepy.
It is.
There's an actress in that I really, really like, but I haven't really seen any of her work.
Is she old?
Yeah.
Jessica Lange?
Yeah, she's the black woman, right?
Oh, then no. I know who you're talking about, but it's not her.
She doesn't look. She's like something like 56 or something. She looks like she's
I know who you're talking about.
She's like really tall, beautiful.
I know. She's
Do you know?
I don't remember the name, but I know who it is because she's really.
She was in Black Panther. Iman. She's
the mom.
The mom one, yeah. She's the mom. She's the mom character.
Your laptop's
Who's
open.
mom?
In Black Panther, she's like the mom that.
Vivian something.
She's the okay. Well,
I feel like it's Vivian.
Oh, the Queen.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Vivian Taylor? Is that her name?
Maybe or Fox.
Vivian.
Okay, well that lady.
Anyways, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, she's really great though.
Very quick. Okay, yeah. Right before we wrap up, I think one thing I want to end on, and one of the questions that actually we had lined up for you that we're both interested in hearing about is that what at the end of the day keeps bringing you back to the arts? I mean, you kind of touched on it, like at different points where I think you are your happiest when you are in that world of acting, film, whatever. And I think that's where you find your strengths and your passion. But like, I guess because you make it so specific to not just acting, but acting as a Muslim woman, like what about that makes it so important that you continually go back into school, you continue to go to auditions, and you make stuff in and around this topic? Like, why?
Oh my god, I'm gonna sound like such a Muslim, but I feel like it's almost like God just keeps bringing me back to it, kind of thing. Because there has been so many times where I'm like, okay, you know what, forget it, and then it's just like, I guess a part of me, this is also so corny, but sometimes I think about just like, what if somebody else wants to do it? And it's just not fair. Like, it's not fair that other people have it easier. And if I have to kind of take the brunt of, like, the force or whatever you call it, like, if I have to just do it, then I'll do it.
To break the door open kind of
thing. And so somebody else can kind of do it. And then it's like a two-way thing, right? Like, if I make it easier for someone else, then they technically make it easier for me, right? Because then it's just like, when you're one person, you're alone and you're kind of foreign, then people have to try to understand you. But when there's multiple people that are like you, then they're like, you're not a freak. Or like, oh, we do understand who you are, and we can write stories about your people and your community. And so I think really, essentially, it always kind of gets down to like, well, what if somebody else wanted to do this too? And it's not fair that they're having a hard time. And I think that mixed with just God being like, nope. Like, it's funny because even going back to like theater school, for example, grade 12. Yeah. I told myself, I'm going to apply to theater school. If I don't get in, I'm going to essentially quit acting, and then I'm going to become a curator at a museum, right? Yeah. And the thing is, I applied to English, which is not history, and it almost kind of feels like God was like, if I did end up going into history, I would have quit acting. Bless you. So it's interesting because it's like I always get these like really beautiful detours, which aren't beautiful. They're actually really painful, and I cry a lot. But I think the universe keeps bringing me back to it, and it's insane. And it's almost like, oh, okay, I guess I gotta do it.
I think that's such a selfless approach to see it as like. Yes, ultimately you're doing it because you have those personal goals, but it is to ultimately help other people achieve those same things. So I think that's the intent there is amazing.
Definitely. And I feel like you're like when we were younger and we were thinking like I'm sure as a kid, like I was telling Razia, even as a kid I was like, oh, I would like to be an actress, but then there's always that thing like no one like me is in acting, so why would it?
Yeah, you kind of get in your head.
You're kind of think. Yeah, you're like, I can never make it there because no one is like me. So the industry doesn't accommodate me. Yeah. And then, but now we have people like you going into it, so that will, kind of, I think.
Yeah. And I think Iman and I kind of align to like what you just said of like not that starting a podcast is by any means the same of what it takes to go to an audition as a Muslim woman, but I think for us highlights opportunities where we can showcase people like you and hopefully have a space where, to have an audience that will come to us to learn about people like you, right? Because I don't think there's an existing solid platform at this point like what we're trying to start up and continue that can showcase people like yourselves, right? So it's like for us, it was super ideal to have you here and to hear your story and stuff. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Oh, no problem.
But
thank you.
Right before we wrap up, do you want to give yourself a little plug?
Where can they find you?
Oh my God. It's so funny. I just did an audition for a commercial and they're like, do you have Instagram? And I was like, yes, technically it's private though. And I feel like I should open it up. Where can they find me?
Even any of your work on YouTube or any stuff like that?
Oh, I do have work on YouTube. I guess you'll tag my name into it, and then I have posts that are public on my page of my old work and stuff and my documentary stuff. And just keep praying for me that I get an audition because I need it, and I'm so scared that I'm not talented. But
yeah, for sure. If you guys are interested to learn more about Nawal, again, we'll definitely tag you and have you featured on our Instagram page. So I'll link you to wherever she's located. So
yeah. And my film is coming out. It is it's actually coming out. So it's June 2019 at DocNow. And it's free.
That's super exciting.
Yeah.
It's in Toronto?
It's in Toronto, downtown, Bloor Street. It's going to be free. Anyone can come, and you can see my film.
Okay, guys.
Yay.
Now you know where to find her. All right, thank you very much, Nawal.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for talking and speaking with us, being our first guest.
Amazing. All right. Okay, thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you later. Bye.
Yes.